Back up a little bit. Are you good? Bro, this nigga Steven bringing his girl everywhere, bro.
What's that nigga girl?
Yeah, that's that nigga girl. Look.
That look. I know that look. That's that hunter look. That's that shark hunter look.
Come on, come here.
What's good, Steven? Hey, this my nigga Ben.
How you doing, bro? Ben, nice to meet you, fam. How you doing, miss? Nice to meet
Bro, this nigga tripping, bro.
you. Yo, ass tweaking, bro. She keep looking at me, bro. I know I'm not making this shit up. I know when they choose them, bro. You seen it. I don't give a fuck. That's your dog.
Oh, chill, nigga. They right there. Back up. Hey.
Nigga, I don't.
Hey, that's funny. That's funny. I'm gonna read some of these comments first before I really get into the video. I'm gonna play the video back. I'm from an era, okay, where in the music, in just the culture amongst guys, that was a thing, man. Taking another dude's girl. Like again, it was in the music. It was just in the air, man. That was something that we that was part of just our development and our ambitions and goals to take another dude's girl. It's just what it was, and I think it's silly. I'm reading some of these comments. Play stupid games and end up on a shirt of on front of a T-shirt behind mine. Now, people love to guys love to throw out this word, a simp nowadays. They love to throw that out there, right? And most of them don't even use it correctly, don't really even understand. But so, and they've really totally watered down the usage and the meaning behind a simp. But and also to the point where I and my cohorts, my circle, we don't even use the word simp no more because it's been so watered down and it's been tainted. But in this case, Mr. Rashad means this is simp. This is a simp comment. Play stupid games and end up on the front of a T-shirt behind mine. This is his girlfriend, first of all, okay? And whenever you fill out an application, a census, survey, anything, you see married, divorced, possibly widowed, or single, okay? There's no boyfriend, there's no in a relationship, there's no girlfriend in a relationship, booed up, bae, none of that, right? It's married, single, divorced, possibly widowed, and that's it. So I go by that same standard myself. When I was in that season of life, when different season of life now, but I can still speak on a perspective from experience. When I was in that season of life, man, it was fair game for a woman that wasn't married. You either married or you single. If you ain't married to that dude, and if I don't know you, we not cool like that, man, your gal is fair game, dog. Your gal is fair game, especially if she choosing. What? And you gonna try to put me on a T-shirt behind that because of what she chose? Yeah, if she giving out, if she's whistling, she dog whistling, right? She's signaling, right? Man, I'm gonna go ahead reciprocate. I'm gonna go ahead and pass the message back and let it know, let it be known that we can make this happen. Eye contact. Catch her, at a different spot when she not around him, and we have a little conversation. Yeah, I'm gonna get that. That was my mentality at the time, and I think this video just exemplifies that. That I think in a hilarious way, but I've been that dude plenty of times. I'm gonna continue to look at some of these comments though. See people who don't agree with me. This is why you tender, cause she gave it up. He didn't rape. Yep, exactly. Dang. I ain't going to jail over no woman. Yeah, exactly. I ain't going to jail over a woman that's choosing. She was choosing. In this, at least in the context of this, I know it's a skit, but it happens in real life all the time, every day, probably somewhere in America, in the world. Another dude's girl is choosing. on somebody else. Okay, she gonna choose on the player. Okay, that's what she gonna do. Okay, and that's on you, dog. If your game ain't tight, if you chose her knowing that she really ain't, knowing not being able to discern what her character is, if you know, I'm personally, I only like women that only like me. Okay, that's me. That's my thing. Okay, at least again, I'm in a different season of life, married now, but I can still give advice when I was in that life because I was as about as successful as a man could be, as a young man could be, as far as a man's aspirations to have encounters with women, and I can speak from a place of experience where I won. I did my share of winning, um, and I did my share of taking another nigga's gal. Um, I only like women that really buck with me. Okay, now there's varying degrees. We know you pursue a woman, and um, they're even the ones that really like you. Sometimes they'll put you in a situation where they make you chase a little bit, have a little fun with it, but not too much though. Don't pull away too much because that just shows me you don't want bugging me. I'm good because there's so many that will. It's so many that will choose, and they'll choose up hard, and they'll choose to your standards. Okay, um, we don't condone any type of degenerate behavior, and we don't condone anything that takes advantage of people. We don't condone anything other than mutual acceptance, agreements, and consensus and consensual behaviors and agreements. That's the only thing we subscribe to. But yeah, it's all voluntary. And if you have your standards, some guys want to choose a fee. I'm all about that. Yeah, I'll turn the tables. But anyway, I don't want to get into that. Let's read some more of these comments. Yeah, Sawfish, I read all year. That's right, Rashad Means. Let's take a look at Rashad Means real quick in Bossier City, Louisiana. Come on, man, you a Louisiana cat talking like this? He is booed up, obviously with a lady. Okay, that's his wife. I would assume. So your wife, my wife ain't gonna be choosing on nobody. She's not. My wife ain't reckless eyeballing. She ain't and my wife is my wife is very friendly and accommodating. Just to give you some insight, she's very friendly and accommodating, and guys love her. Not even in that always in that manner. Like she's just a personable individual to where guys, girls, and all the like will gravitate towards her. Um, and but I know the character of her. Like she can sit there and actually. Some guys will be like, "Well, I don't want my lady laughing with another dude." There's a nuance to that, and there's you have to be discerning in how that plays out. But I know my lady. My lady, she don't get out of pocket. Out of respect, it's not like I gotta force anything. Out of respect, out of a desire to, and then out of desire to honor me and honor us, and then to the point where I do what I do. I do what I have to do, what I need to do, what I want to do, what I'm inclined to do, and with that, she has blinders on anyway. She don't see nobody else, not in that manner. And again, she's a very personable person, so she's not gonna be the traditional mean girl. I don't want my woman to be the mean girl to where it's like, ugh, get away from me. But I want it to be known, and she does make it known that she's inaccessible. And that's something that I don't have to enforce. I don't have to enforce that at all. I know that. I've seen that time and time and time and time and time and time again. I can speak from a confident place because I've, that's my wife now at this point. But even when she was my gal, She didn't get out of pocket because it goes back to to the discernment of who you choose. I didn't choose someone that I knew was I could suspect or sense would have the issue of reckless eyeballing of looking at someone else's yard. That comes down to discernment. Okay, how do you get discernment? Well, I do coaching. I can coach you on that. That's some game just got to be for sale. You know, games to be sold. Let's see. Let's read some of these. Back in the day, me and my girl used to play guys like this. Let him buy the drinks, food at the end of the. Now, me and my lady would do that. Nah, but that I don't think that's this situation. Uh, I'm definitely the type to let my lady roam in the club, get her drinks, and come on back, bring it on back. Again, there's levels to access and to behavior, to where it's you know what's in pocket behavior and you know what's out of pocket behavior. I expect men to do this. However, it's up to the woman to remain solid to her man. Basically, I was never that woman who wanted that type of reputation. I would never mess with my man's friend or associate. I don't want y'all trading stories about me. Very, very wise of you, Rena Banks. Very wise. She looks. I'm not gonna go into her profile, but she looks pretty from the profile. God bless her. Y'all young boys gotta learn the difference between choosing and trying. Yes, if your girl choose your homie, then you just gotta take the L. Facts. However, your homie is dirty macking behind your back to try and get your girl to mess with him. She didn't choose. He pursued. Y'all youngers were raised wrong. You don't pursue your man's girl. I don't see this. See, I don't agree. If she just don't you, so I'm just going off the context of this video. Let's continue to let it play a little bit. I'm just let it play without. Oh well, I'm just let it play real quick.
Bro, I fuck with you. I don't know that nigga, bro. That is not my man's, nigga. Oh, look who it is. You wanna come here with me?
Waiting on somebody, but I guess I'll come.
Come on. Unless your nigga gonna get mad. I don't want your nigga to get mad.
Relax.
I will beat the fuck out your nigga. I'm just letting you.
Okay, I stand corrected. When you start doing all that, referring to her man in a negative light, that's dirty macking.
No, come on. So she talking about don't be a bully, bro.
Yeah,
boy, get home safe.
All right, damn, bro.
This nigga foul, he knows she got a man, bro.
She even worse.
Yeah, I'm tired.
I didn't even catch that. I didn't catch that little snippet real quick. Okay, so that is dirty macking. That's dirty macking. Whenever you got to put the other man's name in your mouth in a negative light. Like for me, I was the type. If I knew she was choosing on me, and we had we got to that point where we having conversation, I was the type I would actually big up her man in every way, because inevitably, if she's choosing on me, there's a crack and there's a chink in the armor. Okay, there's or she's just like that. But usually, it's a combination of both. I would say she's just like that. But then he's dropping the ball somewhere, somehow, some way, and so that leaves the door open, right? Crack door, and so obviously you're gonna have conversation. Obviously you're gonna talk about circumstances, current situation, and I was never. So she's gonna, because there's okay. Well, let me backtrack. You're giving game. Let me give you some game. Obviously, whenever you are just talking with a woman, you want her to do most of the talking. You want to ask questions, okay? You want to ask pertinent questions, let her talk. She's eventually going to get to her man and what he does and what he doesn't do. She's going to tell you that, okay? Either you can answer directly or you can allude to some questions that will lead to that. And again, that's too much game for you, if that's too much game for you, and you want further clarification, you got to hit me with for some coaching, game for sale. But she gonna tell you about her man and his deficiencies and whatever, and I will be the type to actually big up her man, defend her man. Well, maybe you should see it from this perspective. Maybe you did this and he thought this, or maybe he's thinking this, or you gotta understand a man has to go through this. I would be like that, and you know what? It never failed. The the attraction would seem to grow. That would actually increase her desire for me because first of all, you're showing a lot of emotional intelligence. You're showing a lot of poise and maturity. You're showing just how player you are because you're showing supreme confidence. I don't have to dirty this man's name, especially if I don't know that dude like that. He don't, in this situation, he don't really know. He said he don't know him. Why you gotta sully his name and drag his name just to seemingly try to earn favor with the gal? It don't work like that. Nah, I'm gonna big her up because she's already chose. She's already chose. So you don't have to throw dirt on the man's name, and that will. And then for me, I'm from a different school, from a different code. You just don't. I don't talk about a man, a man I don't know, and then I'm always of the understanding that your words can and will come back to you. Not to say that you're scared, not to say that you are, but you just have to exercise caution. You just always have to exercise best judgment because, yeah, things can come back to you. Okay, um, as far as what you say, you got to stand on that. Okay, and it just doesn't look player to just be throwing dirt on somebody else's name for the sake of trying to get his gal. So I agree. At first I didn't see that as dirty macking, but when I continue to play the video and he's saying he'll beat his guy, he'll beat old boy up and stuff like that. That's dirty macking. Now, if he was just doing subtle things like eye contact, holding the hand a little bit longer, that's not dirty macking. That's just planting seeds. That just planting seeds for what potential could be. That's not dirty macking right there. That exchange right there, the holding the hands, the little eye contact, that's not dirty macking. That's just planting the seeds. See if she gonna choose. You throwing a little bait out there. If she bite, that's the game. That's the game. Now all the extra stuff, the throwing dirt on his name, talking about, that ain't cool. That ain't cool. And that's where things really get messed up. And that's usually where the dirty magging is, where real emotions get involved. And that's when not that I agree with it or condone it, but that's when you start to really the pillow talking. That's when things really start to get escalated. Hell of a foul, bro. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this comment, you sound hella foul, bro. Never would I fuck or even talk to my homie girl. That's not his homie. And going off the skit. If she joined with me, I'm already knowing the stands on nothing she told him. And she can kick rocks playing my homie like that and trying to do me the same. If that's the homie, that's different. The homie, no. Absolutely not. An associate of my homie or an associate of mine, a friend of my homie. I don't know you like that. We don't hang like that. Nah, you'll get off fair game, brother. You'll get off fair game. That ain't his man, exactly. This is why both ended up dead. I'm all for the gunplay on both. What? Gunplay over? Yeah. Nah, dog. Right, exactly. You also goofy as hell. You gonna catch a double homicide over a chick that didn't want you and a homie who didn't respect you. Gotta start loving yourself. Very well said, TJ. I gotta agree with you, TJ. You made a good point. Air Force brother. All right. Definitely kind of you keep out of your circle. He ain't finna get my gal, so it's all good. I don't care what he said. If a dude can take your girl, no matter if I know him or not, he can have her. What it boils down to, dog, ain't never gonna be no violence on my end about somebody about someone that can take my gal. Never, ever, never. You'll never hear that associated with a player, man. If a man choose another nigga, let her go. Exactly. Boy, I seen a nigga get beat to sleep playing like that. It was the exact same situation. He said the same. That's y'all homie, not mine. Why was you? What's the point? What's the point, dog? She chose. That's the whole point. She chose. Yeah, he might have. He initiated or he planted seeds. He saw something that he liked and he wanted to see if it could happen, and it did in this situation. So it's never that serious. Thank you. Uh, so yeah, man, that was me, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. In my day, that was me. If you want to call me a sleazeball, I was a sleazeball. Oh, I was just like that, just like that. The handshake, the extra eye contact. Yeah, and then if I see you again at another time and situation, and you giving that. Oh man, yeah, you giving them signals. And you dog whistling at me. It's going down. I'm gonna get you. I was gonna grab him, and I ain't never had no remorse about that. I'm not taking nothing down. Yeah, you either married or you single. Married woman off limits. Oh hell no. I would never touch another man's wife. No. Hell no. Bible tell you about that. Man, that's your gal. Now of course discretion is there's different levels to a situation, of course. There's relationships that are you got common law relationships, long term with common law. There's different levels to relationship to where you that really are on par. Unions, unions, and civil unions and relationships that are on par with. You might as well call them married. We've all known those couples. Uh, couples that have been together for 30 years. That type. Nah, that's different. Nah, I wouldn't bum with that, man. But that's that again. That goes. There's nuance and there's discretion, but definitely don't mess with a married woman for the most part. Oh no, you definitely don't mess with a married woman at all. And some of these relationships, boyfriend girlfriend, there's some discretion to be used. But again, it goes down to if she chose. She chose. So, man, thank you. Fools crashing out behind your girlfriend, moving around you behind your back. He did you a favor, absolutely, brother. Um, this is an opportunity for brother right here to learn about himself. What did he do? What didn't he do? I'll tell you what he did, what he didn't do. He chose wrong. There were signs. There had to be signs. A warning comes before destruction. I always believe that. You always see signs. You may ignore them, but you always have signs as to the contrary. Whatever decision that you're making, if it's not ultimately a good decision, you will see signs to the contrary. Either before you make the decision or soon thereafter, to where you have the chance to pivot. And I'm sure I know there were signs that were apparent as to why she wasn't one to cuff. Um, he chose wrong, and then maybe he just doesn't. Maybe throughout the course of whatever their dynamic, their relationship is, maybe he displayed qualities and behaviors that turned her off, or allowed the space for her to start looking other places. You know. Now again, that does go back to some of her character, but um, I mean, just to bring it back to experience, I've dealt with women who were hoes, um, who were prone to have to be out of pocket, but I'm always of the belief that with the right man, the right player the right guy can tame, for lack of a better term, that type of woman, at least for a time, right? And I've done that to where as a female that she was known for, or she she had that character and that makeup to where she had the wandering eye. She had she would reckless eyeball. She would uh, very well get out of pocket. But when it came to me, all that went out the window. Not because again, not because of anything that I forced. It's all by everything's all about choice. It's just me being me and her being intrigued and her being okay, all the way locked in with what I got going on. So this man has to consider that. What is he lacking? I can tell you. I mean, he looks a little. I mean, the man purse says a lot to me for some reason. You know, I mean, I know a lot of guys got the man purse. I know some so-called hard dudes walking around with man purses. I just can't do it. It just ain't me, you know. And I won't judge, but that's a tell to me. That's a telltale sign. Um, mm Buddy just looked like he's just got a little more um, charisma about himself. You know, women like to laugh. Women like just characters. Women like excitement. Women like different things, man. And yeah, yeah. Anyway, but he wasn't all the way wrong, but yeah, he did do dirty macking when it comes to the this shit is not a flex, bro. Weird as fuck. Yeah, he did do a bit of dirty macking when he started talking down on him, and then the social media thing. That's some new. That's some new. Now I'm not from that era of when I was in that season of life. I'm not. That wasn't a thing as far as posting on social media. You know, and gloating about my conquest of this woman. That just wasn't a thing, and it wouldn't have been a thing for me anyway if it was. Hey now, and now again, I was that dude to take your gal. I was that dude. I would take your gal. I took many a dude's gal, and I don't have any shame in it. I don't think that's. I don't say it as a flex, but I don't say it in any type of shame. Um, I think it's funny. If I'm not the hardest ball in the group, I'm not bringing my girl around no fools. That's. See, look. See, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do this. But I guess that's some new age shit. That new age flex, whatever. Now this is not a bad comment. This, yeah, I mean that's exercising a bit of wisdom. But again, I'm not the type to just change how I move based on this woman. You know, she gonna have to she gonna have to move. She gonna have to get with my program. And again, it goes back to discerning how you pick them because that speaks to this comment speaks to knowing the potentiality of your woman and her character, how she possibly could choose on somebody else. But then that can happen to anybody. You know, that can happen to anybody. But the girl that you really want, it doesn't matter what room she's in. Um, and she's all about you. She's all about you because you are you. You don't have to be the hardest baller. You don't have to be the best looking. You don't have to be anything but who you are. And if you choose the right one that chooses you for who you are and really is down for you, then you don't have to worry about anything. Okay, and that's where guys get it messed up because they always want to choose the hot girl, the bad bitch, the most popular girl, and that comes with a certain level of responsibility. That comes with a certain amount of pressure. Now, and a lot of times, what the the so-called tens, nines, and tens. It's all perception. It's not always just clear cut and dry. It's not objective. Um, because so-called six, sevens, and eights can very well be um, can very well be nines and tens. Women have that ability way more than guys to do things to enhance themselves to be nines and tens. And those sixes and sevens and eights, they especially sixes and sevens, they're gonna be a lot more accommodating usually. Okay, um, and that's what you want. But with guys, a lot of guys will ignore that. A lot of guys will won't have that discernment. That's right. There's no ring on her. Only thing the only problem I have is just the dirty macking. Kind of like T.J. Calhoun said, it's dirty macking when you start speaking on somebody else, on that dude like that. Nah, that ain't cool. That ain't cool. I don't condone that. I don't cut for that. Other than that, that'd be a fair game, man.